Today on Monkey Life, elderly marmoset Jenny gets a visit from the vet in preparation for the arrival of a potential new life partner. But there's a lot of work to do.
We have got loose molars back here, so they're moving around.
Orangutan youngster Hujan begins to adjust to life in the nursery with the help of a new foster mum.
We decided to try and cheer him up. We'd let Oshin in. I think he just wanted some comfort from another orangutan.
And frozen treats for the guenons. But how do you free up the fruit? Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
Hi! Look at that. Oh, he's fantastic.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 25 different species. It's going to be a busy 24 hours for the small monkey team. They're making plans to pair up 13-year-old marmoset Jenny, who recently lost her long-term mate, Albert. She's in desperate need of companionship, and it looks like a solution has been found. Alison has a long waiting list of marmoset owners needing to rehome their pets. And among them is a male called Clyde. He's of similar age to Jenny, and Alison's arranged to collect him tomorrow.
He's another old person. He's also supposed to be about 13 years old. He's a scruffy-looking pet trade boy. We've seen video clips of him. He looks quite sort of ricketed, which is standard for the UK pets. And yeah, he's hopefully going to be a good partner for Jenny because they're of a similar age and they can live out the rest of their twilight years together.
The team hope the pair will get on. But before any introduction can take place, Jenny needs a visit from the vet.
She's got a bony growth that she's had before in her mouth. Not long after she first arrived from the pet trade, we had her down and we actually had to cut it out because it was causing a lot of discomfort in the mouth. But over the years, it's actually regrown again. So we're going to have her down. We're going to hopefully remove that big bony lump from her to upper jaw. But she's also got a selection of interesting looking teeth that we've noticed when we feed her and things. So she may find that she also has a couple of teeth to come out as well.
Local vet David Holler has arrived to perform the procedures. Jenny has already been given anaesthetic gas in a specially designed box for smaller primates. David gives the marmoset a general once-over and then examines her mouth.
Just still assessing what's going on, where and why.
He immediately identifies a number of issues.
We have got loose molars back here. See, they're moving around. And that's a very firm, sort of bony swelling there.
The large bony growth has caused some of Jenny's teeth to be displaced and grown over one of her canines.
May mean that we've got something, sadly, a little more serious, like a bone tumour that's gone along that jaw. Well, I think, we've got to take out anything that's loose, cut over that, take away as much of the bony lump as we can. Probably, potentially, even we'll find that the canine is loose in there.
It's going to be major work for such a little old lady. David uses a specialist drill to remove some of the bony growth. It's a fiddly job, but thankfully doesn't take too long. However, when it's done, there's more bad news.
There's nothing supporting that tooth now, this side. This sticking forward here. I don't think there's any point leaving it.
The canine will have to come out, along with any loose molars. Most of them are so loose or rotten, they come out easily. David then stitches up the gum to aid healing and reduce the chance of infection.
We had to take out the affected canine tooth, and several of the teeth behind have been displaced and pushed out of place by the bony swelling. So, as well as taking the bony swelling away, we had to take all of the teeth out in the right upper side of her jaw to hopefully make her a lot more comfortable, a lot happier for moving forward. So.
There's one more procedure to do. With the imminent arrival of Clyde, David inserts a contraceptive implant. The team don't want to perform a vasectomy on the male straight away, as they're not sure of his condition.
Next few days there will be some painkillers and some antibiotics to make sure we don't get any infection in there. But it's amazing how quickly males heal up. They heal generally very, very quick. And she should be more comfortable almost immediately because she hasn't got sore teeth moving around in her jaw every time she tries to eat. So hopefully we're on for better, more comfortable life moving forward.
Jenny is returned to the box to recover. All being well, in the coming days, she'll have some company and a new life companion. It's been less than 24 hours since 6-year-old orangutan Hujan made the short journey from Tuan's enclosure to his new home with the nursery group, and it's been full on from the moment he stepped inside. He's now living alongside 4 youngsters, plus matriarch Oisin, who's been surrogate mum to them all. It's quite different from the adult company he experienced residing with Tuan and his group of females. And at first, Hujan was a little overawed.
He was here for a good couple of hours just getting his bearings and things. And I think he went into a little bit of a shock moment where he suddenly realised where he is and not in a brand new building. He didn't know any of the orangs and suddenly he's faced with all the other orangutans in here. And then we decided to try and cheer him up. We'd let Oisin in because she was paying a lot of attention at him through the mesh. And then suddenly he came out of it and he seemed absolutely fine. I think he just wanted some comfort from another orangutan. So now it's just a case of just letting him to relax a little bit really in the house, trying to make it a nice positive place for him. And then we're going to start on intros with the other guys as soon as possible really. So we'll just see how he gets on.
Today, Hujan and Oisin have the run of the large indoor playroom and a couple of the bedrooms, while the rest of the group have access to the outdoor tunnels and the large enclosure. Oisin isn't the most active of orangutans, but always livens up when there's food about. And James is about to give the matriarch and her new charge their morning meal. Feeding time at the nursery is very different to Hujan's experience with Tuan's group, and he's having to adjust.
This is a completely new building for Hujan, very different to the last building that he lived in. One of the big changes is that there's an upstairs to here, so when we go up on the roof, he's not used to us being above him, so that's making him be a little bit wary during food times, but obviously we're usually up there feeding them, so then it ends up with a positive thing afterwards with the food coming down to him. So there's lots and lots of new things for him to get used to, but let's see how he copes. I think he's a very well-rounded individual, so I think he's going to do well.
So well, in fact, James thinks the youngster is ready to take the next step in his journey. He prepares to give them access to some of the tunnel system. The tunnel's segregated to avoid physical contact with the others for now. Oisin appreciates the move and shows she can shift a bit, when so inclined. However, Hujan is content to have the playroom all to himself. His new nursery home is the perfect playground for captive orangutan youngsters to grow up and learn how to act and socialise with others of their own kind. Monkey World has been the European creche for orphaned orangutans for more than a decade, and over this period, the staff have helped many infants develop in confidence, supported by a number of foster mums. But there comes a day when the youngsters outgrow the nursery, and it's time to move on.
The main reason behind this nursery really is to try and get these orangutans to grow up in a normal way, to act like orangutans, and so that they can then learn as much as they can before they reach that sort of age of sexual maturity. And then when they do go off to other places, it will make it much, much better when they meet all these new orangutans that they'll be around in perhaps another place, and hopefully they'll get on with them and know what to do, know how to behave and all of that sort of stuff. And if they don't learn that, things can go wrong quite badly.
One of the park's most recent graduates is adult male Sylvester. A few months ago, he made the long journey to a new home and life at Basel Zoo in Switzerland. He now has his own small group consisting of female Maya and her daughter, 5-year-old Padma. The trio appear to be getting on well together, but things aren't going entirely to plan. Sylvester is content in his comfy nest up high in one of the tunnels at the orangutan house and isn't inclined to leave it. He'll only emerge for food and drink and is yet to venture outside.
In the beginning he was very active, very okay, and then after a few weeks he decided that he needs a bit more time and he settled down in his nest and he's active, but he's not running around, and at the moment we're trying to convince him to go outside to enjoy the beautiful outside exhibits we have, but so far we didn't succeed. But we're still working on it and we're giving him time so he can do it on his own pace.
His day-to-day carer is Gabriella. She's been working closely with Sylvester, encouraging him to move and explore.
Hey, Sylvester, kom gaan schauen. Kom gaan schauen, Sylvester, kom.
But there's a lot for the young adult orangutan to take in.
Sylvester, huh?
His new home has different rooms and slides to get used to. And there's an adult male orangutan in residence close by. Vendel is his immediate neighbour. Sylvester's opted for a safe spot high up where he can take it all in.
The whole environment is new, keepers are new, his exhibit mates are new, so everything is new, and I imagine that he needs some more time to actually get used to it and also to have enough courage to go and see what's outside, to go and see how it is there, because he knows now the inside enclosures, he knows quite well, he knows where he is, he knows his place, he knows where he can stay safe, and the outside is new and adventurous, and I think he needs to build a bit more courage to actually go there.
The two females, Maya and daughter Padma, spend most of their time enjoying the outside enclosure. Sylvester has access any time he wants to join them, and to encourage him, Gabriella offers treats to the females in full view.
Ja, nicht schauen, hä? Wo hast du Padma?
When the trio are together inside, they get on well.
When I sit a long time alone inside and Maya and Padma come in for food, then you see that it's for him is, oh, she come back, oh yeah, oh, it's okay, yeah. You see it. The contact is very good and the contact is very friendly. No aggressive, no problems, nothing. It's very friendly.
A cold Swiss winter, which extended longer than usual into spring, didn't help matters.
If he would have come here in summer and would immediately have had access to outside, it would have been easier. So he got comfortable inside, and now he needs to relearn that there is more to the exhibit. And I hope that he will enjoy his new outside exhibit and profit from these new possibilities to have different experiences in his life.
The staff at Basel Zoo will give Sylvester all the time he needs to adapt to his new life. And once he's confident enough to head outside, the team are sure he'll love it. It's a baking hot day at the park, and Hananya's troop of 18 are feeling the heat. It's so warm the chimps have taken to relaxing in the shade, or sheltering under a sheet in order to get some respite from the sun. Even usually energetic Thelma's not up for running around today. But the weather isn't the only reason the group are a little subdued. A summer cold is doing the rounds, and some of the chimps are feeling out of sorts. Primate care staff member Wendy is mixing up a concoction to help. She's making a delicious cold remedy with ginger, lots of lemons and honey. It makes for a vitamin-packed soothing drink.
I walked in this morning. At least half of Hananya's group are snotty and coughing and revolting, so we need to do a couple of things. Make them feel better. It's a hot day. It's been a hot couple of weeks, so we need to get fluids into them. So I shall boil this all up, my magic recipes. I shall let it cool down, and then later on, in a little while, we'll throw that over the fence line in bottles. Make sure everybody's gets some.
Wendy knows which chimps are displaying symptoms and will target them to make sure they get a bottle. But she's making enough for everyone, in the hope it'll help those not infected stay healthy.
It's really, really good stuff, honey, for colds and symptoms like that. The ginger just clears all the airways out, but also minimise the symptoms that they're suffering, because it's not nice having a cold. And when you're a chimp, you become a less nice chimp when you've got a cold. And when 18 chimps have got a cold, it's not pleasant. Fingers crossed we'll get this cold sorted out and they can get back to themselves again.
Once the potion has cooled and been decanted into bottles, Wendy distributes them to an excited troop. Chimps live in large groups, and once one of them catches a cold, it can spread like wildfire. Hopefully, this tasty medicinal treat will do the trick. Simon is one of the first to grab a bottle and unscrews the top with his teeth, before Thelma strolls in and pinches it from under his nose. He's a bit of a soft touch when it comes to the youngster. The bottles are thrown in from 2 different towers, so all the chimps can snaffle at least one. But dominant female Johnny, as usual, has grabbed more than her fair share. 1 in each hand, and 1 clutched in her right foot. Honey finds a quiet spot away from the others, so she can hold onto her bottle and enjoy the soothing drink. Thelma and Simon climb up to Johnny in the hope she may give up one of her cash. They've got no chance.
Johnny doesn't do sharing. I have never seen Johnny share. Not once. Plenty of the others, yes, absolutely. I've seen Hananya share with low rankers very sweetly. Johnny, nah. She will sit there and drink that as slowly as she possibly can. And she is going to make them suffer while she does it.
The drink has been a success and hopefully will help the group fight off infection. And when the bottle's empty, time for a tidy up before relaxing in the shade. While Hananya's chimp group take it easy in the warm summer sun, there's one small troop at the park who rarely take a laid-back approach to life. The family of 4 red-bellied guenons. Mum Nia and Dad Benny have their hands full with their 2 daughters, Biff and Nala. The sisters like nothing better than dashing about, jumping and climbing in their wonderful outdoor enclosure. But with the temperatures soaring, the primate care staff have decided the full-throttle guenons could do with a cool down. So they're serving up a fruity treat, frozen in blocks of ice.
This is a bit of a new thing for them. So they've had like chunks of frozen watermelon in the past, but they've never had big block lollies, and there's a lot of frozen fruit in here. So I don't think they're going to be able to believe their eyes when they first come out today.
Steph and the team aren't sure how the guenons will approach the frozen feast.
The guenons are pretty smart. It's whether they decide whether the cold ice is worth it or whether the better strategy is to just sit around and wait for the sun to melt through so they can grab the fruit. So it'll be interesting seeing if they actually bother with licking the lollies, or if they just sort of smash them on things, or if they wait for the sun to do the work for them.
The family of 4 are let out into the enclosure and take up vantage points to survey the unusual offering. They're normally full on when it comes to food. Youngsters Biff and Nala rarely hold back. But the suspended ice blocks have them flummoxed. They're not sure what to make of it all, or where to begin.
It's a bit of a free-for-all when the guenons come out. Generally, the kids are not shy, and they're not opposed to pushing Dad out of the way when it comes to treats and stuff. Benny has a very good feeding strategy. Everything just gets shoved straight into his cheek pouches, but he can't do that with a big block frozen lolly. He's actually going to have to spend some time working on it first. But the kids are usually head first into anything new, so I expect they'll be the first ones.
And they are. Dad Benny watches on as Biff manages to prize a piece of fruit from one of the ice blocks. So that's how it's done. It doesn't take long for the rest of the family to get stuck in. Benny grabs hold and uses his teeth to free a piece of watermelon from the ice block. But he's no intention of sharing it with daughter Nala. She'll have to do the work if she wants the reward. The ice lollies are suspended all around the enclosure to give the guenons a good workout, testing their agility and brains as they come up with tactics to retrieve the frozen fruit. Clever Benny discovers he has the strength to haul up a big chunk of ice hand over hand. His daughter Nala tries the same technique, but her first attempt ends in failure. Second time lucky? This time, she uses her teeth too. She can't quite manage it and is left with only a fragment of frozen fruit. As the day warms up, the ice starts to melt, revealing more and more of the tasty morsels. The guenons don't have a great deal of fruit in their diet, so when they do, it's a real treat. Biff has managed to break off a big chunk of fruit smoothie. She heads to a platform with her sister Nala in close pursuit. Nala attempts to muscle in on the prize, but Biff's not for sharing. The ice enrichment has proved a hit with the whole family. In fact, it's been finger-licking good. And when they've had their fill, it's time for a brush-up and a spot of grooming. Next time on Monkey Life. Alison meets Clyde, a pet trade marmoset who refuses to transfer from his owner's travel cage to the safety of the park's travel box.
I don't like the cage with holes in it, but if that's what we're gonna have to do.
And Argentine chimp Sasha meets the challenge of Bart's outdoor enclosure for the very first time. Today on Monkey Life, Alison meets Clyde, a pet trade marmoset who refuses to transfer from his owner's broken travel cage to the safety of the park's travel box.
I don't like the cage with holes in it, but if that's what we're gonna have to do.
Young orangutan Hujan meets older male Bulu, who's up for a full-on play session.
It looks a little bit over the top, but I think there's a lot of smiles in between there.
And Argentine chimp Sasha meets the challenge of Bart's outdoor enclosure for the very first time. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
There they are. It's so amazing. They look really fit and healthy. All good.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 25 different species. Early morning at the park, and Alison's on her way to yet another pet trade marmoset rescue. She's preparing to make the short journey from Dorset to Fareham in the neighbouring county of Hampshire. A male marmoset there, named Clyde, has been on her waiting list for several years and could be the perfect partner for Jenny, one of the females at the park.
Sort of sadly, I was able to go to our waiting list and come up with what is number 7 or 8 on our waiting list, Clyde, and also is approximately the same age as Jenny. So we try and sort of find like with like, so we'll have perhaps the same energy levels and things. Little bit worried that the video clip I've been sent, his hands and his feet look like they might have rickets, and his fur doesn't look the best, but I was told that that was him just getting up out of bed, but I'm still a little bit concerned about his condition. But we'll get Clyde back to the park, see what he's like, get him fed up and vitamins inside of him, and consider introductions to Jenny almost straight away. We'll want a day or two to settle Clyde in and see what he's like.
As Alison leaves for the 60-mile journey to pick up Clyde, his prospective partner Jenny is recovering from major dental surgery. She had a growth and a number of teeth removed yesterday, but is doing very well.
She's eaten well, she is literally back to normal. Her attitude, she's telling us off again. She seems a lot more comfortable, so some of the food items that she struggled with, you know, a couple of days ago, she's attempted and eating very well now, so yeah, she's doing really good.
Which is just as well, because Alison has arrived in Fareham to meet Jenny's potential new mate, and his owner.
I'm Alison.
Yeah, I've seen you before.
Pleasure.
Alison prefers to see any new primate in their current living conditions to help understand their mobility and behaviour. This identifies any potential issues so the primate care staff can be informed. So she's a little frustrated to find the marmoset is already boxed up.
Well, hi, sweet pea.
However, she's able to take a look at Clyde's cage, which is still in place, and is told he also had the run of the sitting room.
Sweet pea. Hey, Clyde. He's thinking, yes, what's going on?
Alison's keen to get as much background on the marmoset as she can.
You've had him now since 2015, was it? You first...
2015, yeah.
You contacted us, I think?
I made contact when his partner died, because he went into a depression.
So you had just kept them in the cage when they were a couple?
Yeah, but it was double that size.
Yeah.
Double that size, yeah.
And so he's not really ever spent time outside or anything?
I take him out occasionally to get a bit of sun.
It's a recurring problem with pet trade marmosets. They're often kept in small spaces with very little, if any, outside access and very limited sunshine, leading to a lack of vitamin D and, inevitably, rickets.
And fruit and veg?
Yeah, spaghetti. He does love spaghetti.
Okay. Yeah.
I do give him a bit of porridge in the morning.
What, oatmeal or...?
Ready break.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Alison has the information she needs. Time to transfer Clyde from the owner's box into a secure travel crate.
Go on in, Clyde.
But try as they might, Clyde won't budge.
Clyde.
It's all right, sweet pea.
Come on, baby. All right, babe.
I don't like the cage with holes in it, but if that's what we're gonna have to do.
Alison doesn't want to cause the marmoset undue stress, so decides he'll have to travel to Dorset in the owner's box. But first, she'll make it as secure as possible.
Do you mind if I call you if there's any questions or issues?
Phone me, yeah. No
Thank
problem.
you, thank you.
Alison is eager to get Clyde safely back to the park.
You're all right, little man.
The primate care staff will assess the rescued marmoset when he's in a more secure environment.
Luckily, not too long of a journey, because, like I said, I'm really not happy with that cage, but we've got it gorilla taped down and the sides and the holes filled in and everything else, and I've put a blanket in at least and a water bottle on board, so not ideal, but at least we're on our way.
They set off, with Clyde heading for a new start, a potential new partner, and the chance to live a more natural marmoset life. It's been a week since orangutan Hujan joined the rest of the youngsters at the nursery. He's settling in well and becoming accustomed to the house, its large playroom and some of the outside tunnels. He's also met all the girls in the group, including new arrival Kyan, who's just 15 days younger than him. The primate care staff have saved the only male in the nursery, 8-year-old Bulu Mata, till last.
He's a lot bigger than Hujan, and he's the only other male in the group, so this is the kind of decider, really, if you like, of whether this is going to work or not. I really, really hope it does, because there's so much work that's gone into it, and all of the other intros have gone so, so well. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll get on and become best buddies.
But primate introductions are notoriously difficult to predict. So today's meeting between the two will start with mesh contact only, to see how they react. Hujan has his friend Kyan in with him for support, while the other 3 females remain outside in the enclosure. At first, Bulu is somewhat indifferent to his new housemate.
Bulu, come here. Hujan.
So James decides to try and bring the pair closer with some cooperative feeding.
It just gets them a bit closer together, gets a little bit more trust in them and things like that, really. I mean, there's been no negative behaviour so far. Hujan's a little bit wary, obviously. Bulu's a lot bigger than him. But yeah, it's looking all right so far.
With no signs of aggression in evidence, James soon decides it's time for the pair to meet face to face. The team prepare for all eventualities.
All right, fire extinguisher behind you. Boy, Bulu bear, good boy, well done.
Hujan and Kyan head straight into the bedroom next door, ignoring Bulu as they do. They're happy playing together, enjoying their own fun wrestling session. But when Bulu gets in between them, Hujan immediately backs away into the corner. He's wary of the larger male and not sure how to react, particularly when Bulu makes a grab for him. James monitors the situation to make sure it's just harmless play. But then Kyan decides she wants to join in the fun.
It always looks quite aggressive at the start with things like this, but they have to work out which one's the strongest, basically, to work out who's the boss. So it looks a little bit over the top, but I think there's a lot of smiles in between there. We just need to make sure that we're almost policing this a little bit, just to make sure it doesn't get a little bit too out of hand. But Hujan's not squeaked in any way at all. He's actually been smiling most of the time whilst Bulu was doing that to him. So that was a really good start, to be honest. But obviously, early days, we'll see how the rest of this goes and plays out, but fingers crossed.
In case it's all getting too much for Hujan, James decides to swap Kyan with some of the others, currently outside in the tunnels and enclosure.
I just felt like they were starting to gang up a little bit too much on him. So I've just taken her out of the mix for a minute. I'll probably let her back out to the rest of the group.
Enter Oshin and Mimi, and the presence of the adult female has an immediate calming effect on Bulu.
He's not being so crazy now trying to chase after Hujan or anything like that, so I think we've done the right thing there. So yeah, we'll continue to watch this for a little bit longer, and then this afternoon we might think about then adding Rika to the mix. Probably Kyan last, to be honest, after her very enthusiastic behaviour with him this morning. So yeah, it's going good.
The team will keep up the introductions before letting the whole group outside together. They hope by then Bulu will realise Hujan makes an excellent playmate. But the older male will need to dial down the rough and tumble. After all, Hujan's a lot smaller than his former play pal, Sylvester. There are now 5 squirrel monkeys at the park, following the arrival of youngster Kimbo a few months ago. But integrating him into the group hasn't gone according to plan.
He's a young male, he came from the pet trade, and our hope was to try and get him into our group. Unfortunately, we haven't been successful as yet, but we have managed to get him quite happily living with Nueve, our female black cap. So at the moment, we're taking a break from intros and we're just going to run the groups as 2 separate groups, basically. So we've got Lopez, Lucille, and Logan living together, and they're the trio that have always lived together. They came to us together, and then we've got Kimbo and Nueve in a separate part of the house.
Today, Karen has come up with a new and unusual feeding system for the trio of common squirrel monkeys to try out in their wonderful natural enclosure.
So it's really cool, kind of hanging coconut feeder, which is great. They've had half coconut shells before, but they've never seen anything like this before. So this is going to be really interesting. And there's a big hole at the bottom, so we can fill it full of good stuff. And then we're going to hang it up, see what they make of it. Hopefully they'll enjoy trying to get out the insects and the treats.
Karen has all sorts of goodies lined up to fill the coconuts.
So we're going to put some straw in and some waxworms. They love waxworms, one of their favourites. Let's put some more straw in, hide them all in there. Also going to use some mealworms, which they really enjoy too. Also going to treat them to a little bit of jam. It's very high in sugar, so this is a rare, very rare, very rare treat. The work that they'll put in will far outweigh the calories in that little bit.
Suspending the coconut containers all around the enclosure will test the 3 squirrel monkeys both mentally and physically. And here they come. Full of curiosity about the strange objects decorating the enclosure. They're certainly a puzzle, spinning and swaying the moment they try to grasp them. This will take some working out. Lucille carefully considers the coconut conundrum. Seconds later, she's got it cracked, reaching out and using amazing core strength and balance. Squirrel monkeys don't have prehensile tails like some other South American species. It means they can't use them to grasp things or hang from them. Instead, they're often used as a counterbalance when collecting food from hard-to-reach places. Lopez tries a different technique, using his strength to haul the coconuts up to his perch on a high branch. He's perfectly balanced as he rifles through the straw to find the mealworms. His measured approach means he doesn't let too many of the grubs fall to the ground. Logan is the biggest of the 3 common squirrel monkeys. He's also the least enthusiastic when it comes to working hard for his food. Today, he's got a bit of an excuse. His large hands are a bit too big to reach inside the holes in the coconut. The trio have come a long way since being rescued 6 years ago.
Lucille at the minute is still quite quiet. She's massively improved since she's been here, but she is still the quieter one out of the 3. Lopez's behaviour has dipped a little bit while he wasn't well, but he's starting to come back to himself, and he is the cheeky little chappy that likes running around and playing. And Logan is still I'm the big man, and I still need to try and be the big boss and show how strong I am and muscly I am.
Today's enrichment has been an excellent exercise for the small group, challenging them physically and mentally. Lucille has made the most of it, and it pays off. She hits the jam jackpot, earning a sticky reward for her perseverance. It's been a momentous few months for Argentine chimps Sasha and Kangu, rehomed from Buenos Aires Zoo. Since the mother and son were separated, Kangu has become well ensconced in Brian's group of 6, where everyone, including Rodders, are now together and getting on. But for his mum, Sasha, it's been a different story. She's found life tough in Bart's group, where introductions to the other 15 haven't always gone to plan. And she's yet to venture into the large outdoor enclosure. But today, Primate Care staff member Sean is hoping that's all about to change.
It's been a bit slower going here, actually getting enough of a group around her to kind of be that reassurance and support as she goes outside. And yeah, the hope is that her going out, obviously a lot better for her, getting out in the fresh air, exploring the big enclosure and everything like that will be so much better for her. Things can only get better is the hope. So yeah, it's looking up today.
Sean has opened the slide connecting the house to the outside tunnels that lead to the large enclosure.
Good girl, hi. What do you think?
Sasha has spent the night with Athena and Lola, two females who have become good friends and are there to support and encourage her outside. If things go well, Sean will gradually introduce a few more of Bart's troop throughout the day. But first, she needs to take that initial big step outside.
It'll be all right, probably.
While Lola and Athena are making the most of having the enclosure to themselves, Sasha hangs back.
Oh, Sash, it's okay.
This is all new to the chimp.
Come on, sweetheart.
And she's understandably cautious.
Come on, then.
Lola comes back to offer her reassurance.
Good girls.
It seems to do the trick. After a bit more hesitation, Sasha takes her first steps into her new large outdoor space.
Good girl!
Before making her way across the grass to one of the climbing frames.
Well done, sweetie. She's out.
With Athena and Lola staying close by her side, offering support, she's soon off exploring.
Lola and Athena are just perfect and wonderful, and I'm very, very happy with them. They've been very sticking close to her, reassuring her. I mean, they've still gone off and stuffed their faces with all the apples out there, but, you know, they've been happy enough to keep an eye on her.
As the morning goes on and Sasha is becoming more and more confident, Sean decides to introduce two of the higher-ranking females into the mix, Cindy and Clyn. The distraction of some frozen fruit smoothies is enough to keep things calm for now. It's been a huge day for Sasha, coping with the large outdoor space and all the sights and sounds that come with it. And for the primate care team, it's great to see that all their hard work and patience is paying off. After a short journey from Fareham on the south coast, Alison has arrived back at the park with Clyde, a male marmoset who's been on her waiting list to be rescued for some time. He's had to travel back in his owner's animal cage, which wasn't ideal. But the journey has been quick and uneventful for the marmoset.
The whole situation was a little bit odd. He appears to be okay, and we'll see how he goes. I'm going to give him to Elle.
Yeah, if you could tell the whole thing, that's probably easy.
Yeah.
The team are anxious to get Clyde settled in one of the bedrooms for the night, where he'll have other marmosets as interested neighbours.
Is used to being loose in the house and around people. It's only if you try and grab him that he might. But otherwise, you should be all right.
Elle opens up the cage to give Clyde access to his new bedroom.
Come on, little man.
He's in no rush.
Door's open.
It'll be the first time Alison will see him actually move. Slowly, Clyde plucks up the courage to take a look around, climbing to the edge of the cage before taking a leap of faith. He's actually fairly mobile and shows some good agility as he moves around the branching.
But he looks pretty confident, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, that jump out of the box was pretty capable.
Still not terribly happy of what his hands look like from that previous video clip, but he does seem not too bad. I guess leaping across countertops and up onto kitchen cabinets and stuff has put him in good stead for at least being able to move around. I'll be interested to see what Steph and Elle think about the state of his bones and everything moving forward, because some of the videos we had beforehand didn't look really good. And the bottle of D3 that I've been given is full and looks new. So, yeah, we'll just have to assess him now. But pretty good.
Clyde's got a lot to contend with in the house, so the team will give him plenty of time to adjust before introducing him to his new partner, Jenny.
Yeah, a lot of animals to get used to in this house. He's got very noisy neighbours. He's got the Tamarin girls next door that are very, vocal. He's got Millie Martin at the end who alarm calls, at any little sign of noise or danger. So he's got a lot to get used to. But next to him on the left, he's got his future girlfriend. And hopefully within the next week, they can start communicating over the wall and talking and familiarising themselves before they get to meet properly in person.
So far, so good. But the next few days could be life-changing for this new arrival. Next time on Monkey Life. A visit from the vet for one of the park's strangest residents. But it's hard to nail down what's causing his condition.
This one is actually thickened and distorted the whole way down.
And Capuchin Gismo and his girls go nuts over a cracking challenge. Today on Monkey Life, a visit from the vet for one of the park's strangest residents. But it's hard to nail down what's causing his condition.
This one is actually thickened and distorted the whole way down.
The small monkey team lose the battle to save tragic pet trade marmoset Koba.
Having Koba coming in and knowing he never had a chance to begin with, that is heartbreaking.
And Capuchin Gismo and his girls go nuts over a cracking challenge. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
Right there, keep her in, get her in. Okay, got it.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 25 different species. It's vet day for one of the park's more unusual residents, Brass, a hybrid marmoset who arrived via the pet trade.
He's got some really strange things going on with his nails. He's got a very sort of yellow, crusty coloration around quite a few of his toes and fingernails. We think maybe it's fungal, maybe it's something else. They do a lot of climbing around on the branching. Obviously, the claws are the things that they're using to grip onto the branching when they're moving about. So it's important that we have a look at that and see if we can't get them looking nice and healthy again.
Brass was rescued with 3 other marmosets in 2013 from a pub in Greater Manchester. 2 have moved on, but Brass and his male friend Evie still live together at the park. And they're a bit of a conundrum for the primate care staff.
They are some sort of weird hybrid marmoset created in the pet trade. We think maybe common marmoset cross silvery marmoset, but we don't really know. They're a very odd pair. Their coloration is really weird. Evie's bright white, Brass is sort of a mixture of white and black. Both of them have got quite a lot of balding, hair loss. They're just very strange-looking monkeys, but beautiful nonetheless.
Steph has brought Brass across to the park's hospital, where local vet David Holler is going to examine him. Once he's been anaesthetised in a specially designed box, David can get to work. He's surprised by the marmoset's overall condition.
He's got nice little muscles on him.
Yeah.
Brass appears in reasonably good health, despite his hair loss. But the cause for concern is the nail infection.
That one's definitely quite thickened the whole way through the nail. So that's the most like a sort of fungally affected nail. This one is actually thickened and distorted the whole way down. And on the verge of coming away.
As David examines each individual nail, some are so infected they fall off in his hands.
We've already lost several toenails, and there are several others that are falling off. It looks like most likely we've got a fungal infection got under the nail. These ones that are coming off anyway, if we remove them, it looks a little bit mean, but it gives us access to this tissue to apply treatment to. We can get our treatment in exactly where it's needed, and hopefully get him on the road to recovery that little bit quicker.
Once he's removed all the infected nails, David treats each nail bed with a non-toxic, antibacterial and antifungal solution.
This is just putting a large amount of it exactly where it's needed. Really helps to deal with infections and promote healing.
While the solution dries, the team take blood samples.
Some of the treatments that we might need to use for fungal disease can impact the liver, so we need to know his liver's working well. We don't often anaesthetise the guys here, so it's good to get a general idea of the health overall, make sure there's nothing in the background that we're unaware of.
Finally, David uses a laser to kickstart the healing process.
Stimulate blood flow, stimulate local immunity, but it also kills bacteria and fungus, so a single treatment today isn't going to be curative, but it's just about taking the opportunity while we've got him here to do as much as we can to get him better as quickly as we can.
Treatment completed, Brass is returned to the box to recover from the anaesthetic. The team are hoping for a steady improvement in his condition in the coming weeks. It's almost 2 weeks since young male orangutan Hujan left Tuan's group to start the next chapter of his life with the youngsters in the nursery. He's now met everyone and settled in well. So today, he's going to take the next big step into the outdoor enclosure.
The key thing is just watching the behaviour, seeing how they get on, and judging the reactions between the group and things like that. So it's all about the dynamics really this morning. So we'll probably be exploring the top half of the enclosure, getting to know his bearings and working out things out there. So hopefully he won't find anything to destroy as well, as orangutans quite often do, but we'll see.
James is concerned that if Hujan does climb up high, he'll be able to see his former family across the way in Tuan's enclosure. He's not sure how the youngster will react, so Tuan and the females are being kept indoors to start with.
We're going to let them out for a short while this morning, and then go on to let Tuan's out, and then it will be a case of judging their behaviour probably a bit later with when him and Roro see each other, and also not just Roro but some of the other characters in the group as well, over Tuan's way that he used to have quite close relationships with Awan, Arme, pretty much all of them to be honest. He had some form of relationship with and play with quite a few of them in the past, so it will be a big moment for him seeing them over there. So yeah, let's see how this goes. Come on in, guys!
The slide is opened, and Bulu Mata leads the group out, followed by Mimi, and then Kayan. In the tunnel, Hujan is still a bit cautious and hangs back.
Come on, Hooch! There he is. You can go out today.
The sight of the others outside encourages Hujan to take a good look.
He's a good boy. He's a good boy. It's not that scary, is it?
He summons up his courage and heads out, straight to the climbing frame. He immediately starts to climb up high.
Hujan's one of the best climbers we've probably got in this group after being in Tuan's for quite a while, climbing on the big frame. So he's completely used to the height of the enclosure. This is probably quite low for him, really. So yeah, he's really good that he's gone straight at the top.
Right, I'm going to give you some of this, OK?
The primate care team attempt to keep the rest of the group busy with drinks and scatter feeds to allow Hujan time to explore the enclosure. However, someone is determined to chaperone him. Kyan is just 15 days younger than Hujan and on hand to offer reassurance if needed. But the young male is already growing in confidence, heading back to the tunnel system every now and then, demonstrating he knows his way around.
Good boy, Hujan, good boy.
While he's otherwise occupied, the team take the opportunity to let Tuan's group outside. But how will Hujan react when he gets a glimpse of his previous housemates? And how will they react when they see him up high in an adjacent enclosure? The team needn't have worried.
No massive reaction, to be honest, from Hujan. He 100% saw them all. He was having a really good look at them, but he seemed to be just getting on about his business, and he's still out there now swinging around. Tuan was looking at him very, very intensely, so I'm not really sure what was going through Tuan's head. Obviously, the males, it's all about property and they own everything, so I don't know if there was a little bit of that in his head, but he certainly was looking quite puzzled and quite intense. There was definitely some looks from Roro, obviously one of the biggest ones, as she was the main foster mum that looked after him for all of this time so far. He is at a natural age now that he would be going away from his mum a bit further in the wild, so I think the group are going to cope okay.
As the morning goes on, Hujan does spend a little time watching his former housemates. But the youngster seems settled with his new life and playmates in the nursery. With so many animals to feed and keep happy and healthy, the park staff maintain and grow lots of edible plants that can be foraged or fed to the primates. Today, Katie is harvesting some ripe plums for the trio of spider monkeys. They're also going to be given blackberries and rose hips, complete with their prickly stems.
We've got quite a few fruit trees, and yeah, it's really nice because it means that we get free food during the summer for the monkeys, and yeah, it means that we can do things like this so that we can do it as enrichment as well. So just going to take a few branches off. And yeah, just be a nice kind of natural way for them to get some food.
It's a colourful seasonal treat, which the three spider monkeys should relish. Katie's hanging the fruits in feeders around the enclosure to encourage Pumpkin, Hickory and Flint to forage and feed as they would in the wild, by suspension feeding. Some treats may be easier to reach than others.
It'll be interesting to see what they think of them. I don't think we've tried them with rose hips before, so yeah, it'll be interesting, especially as they're quite a spiky plant, so they're going to have to negotiate around the spikes. I think especially initially they're going to have a bit of a preference for the plums just because they're so much easier. But yeah, hopefully they'll appreciate the rose hips and they'll actually prove to be a bit of a challenge for them.
With everything set, the slide is opened. The trio take a good look around the enclosure. The brightly coloured breakfast captures their interest immediately. Spider monkeys are frugivores, meaning their diet consists mainly of fruit, so this morning's offering is a feast. Flint attempts to capture a juicy plum first. He hangs upside down, using his long prehensile tail as an anchor, and nimbly plucks one from a branch. Hickory is always a little more cautious, but today he wastes no time harvesting some blackberries, even if they are near ground level. But Pumpkin doesn't take the easy option. Her excellent colour vision spots the bright red rose hips, and despite the prickles, she demonstrates excellent technique to reach them.
Spider monkeys don't actually have thumbs, so they're at a slight disadvantage when it comes to really manipulating things because their hands are more well adapted to just hooking on. But yeah, you could see Pumpkin, she's using her hands to pull the fruit over, so she only has to touch a tiny bit of the plant, and just eating them straight from the plant with her mouth. So yeah, she's really smart, and it's a really interesting kind of way to see her doing it. They don't often get spiky foods that are hard to eat, so it's nice to see her do it.
Pumpkin is the boss of the trio and loves her food, often leaving Flint and Hickory at the back of the queue. Having sampled the rose hips, she quickly moves on to the plums.
They know she's the boss. But yeah, it's really nice with things like this. There's like so much to do in there, so much food that everybody's getting plenty.
The trio will have the rest of the day to climb and forage for the fruit, just as they might in their natural habitat, in the rainforests of South and Central America. After all, even greedy Pumpkin can't devour it all in one sitting. The park's newest arrival has spent his first night in his new home. Alison collected male marmoset Clyde from his owner in Fareham, Hampshire yesterday. He's had less than 24 hours to get used to the sights, sounds and smells that will form part of his life from now on. The primate care team are keeping a close eye on the newbie.
It's really important that we get to know Clyde as a person and get to know his personality. But the more that we sit with him, the more we spend time with him, the more we can understand him, the more we can adapt our care to his needs, whether that be dietary based or things he might need in the room extra.
The team know very little about Clyde's background, apart from the information Alison gleaned from his owner.
He is absolutely obsessed with bugs, which is great because it's high in protein. He's an old boy, so it's really important that he, puts on a little bit of weight, starts building up a little bit of muscle. So crickets have gone down a treat. Waxworms, which is great because they're high in fat. So his appetite overall is great. We would be more concerned if he was coming in and he wasn't eating. So yeah, he's eating well. She's got a bit of funny teeth, haven't you, buddy?
It's certainly been a busy year for the small monkey team, with an influx of rescued individuals, all victims of the British pet trade. One of the most heart-wrenching was male marmoset Koba, who arrived with his partner Lola. He was in a terrible state, emaciated, with a broken wrist, a twisted spine due to rickets, and missing half of his tail. The team didn't think he'd survive the first 24 hours.
That tail.
But he proved to be a fighter and for a few months briefly rallied. However, despite all the care and attention lavished on him by the staff, his condition was so bad it couldn't be reversed to give him a good quality of life.
We've had to make the really sad decision to let Koba go. We saw so much progress with him. We managed to get him so much better than he was when he first arrived. But unfortunately, the damage that had been done to him was simply way too extreme. He climbed a peak and got a little bit better, and then we just saw, from getting better, a gradual decline starting because he just couldn't overcome what had been done to him.
It was a real blow for the team.
One of the best parts and worst parts of the job for us is new animals coming in, them being in a state, but knowing, right, we can fix them. We can do something about it, we can make it better. And having Koba coming in and spending so many hours trying to do something for him and make him better, and knowing he never had a chance to begin with, that is heartbreaking.
But despite the anguish of Koba's tragic life and loss, the following days have brought some positive news. Koba's partner Lola has found a new friend. She's been introduced to Colin, a male marmoset whose previous partner also passed away.
He's a lovely boy, she's a lovely girl, and she was just delighted to have company again. It's so, so important, that social interaction. So we've now got a really happy new little pair with Lola and Colin.
It's been quite a turnaround for Lola.
She's gone from an awful little birdcage in a dingy house in a room surrounded by dogs, cats, a barn owl, all these scary other animals, and inadequate care, awful diet, no perching, all the bad things, to 2 big bedrooms, a lovely outside enclosure that's blossomed in the spring, summer with all this leafy greenery, lots of wild insects in there for her to hunt down and catch, a lovely new boyfriend for her to snuggle up with, lots of grooming and interaction, because as much as she loved Koba, he couldn't really groom her. He couldn't follow her around. He couldn't join her in threatening the neighbours and being part of a territorial team. And now she has all of that with Colin. She's doing so well. She's put some weight on. Little bit on the chunky side, I think, but we'll have to watch that. But other than that, she has a life now. Instead of an existence, she has a life.
It's going to be a cracking afternoon for Gismo's group of 6 capuchins. Primate care member Donna is giving them a selection of nuts still in their shells, including walnuts, hazelnuts and Brazils. The problem for the capuchins will be how to crack them open. Donna is providing them with all the tools they need.
We're giving them some quite big rocks and stones, which is something that we don't normally do because obviously they have access to the windows, but Gismo's group don't actually have a window in their enclosure, so it's something that we can give them. They love playing with the stones and bashing things in here that they find anyway. These are a little bit bigger than normal, so that's going to be something different. We've also got quite a big boulder that we've added in here as well, and we're going to give them some whole nuts. So we're hoping that they'll use and find the tools that we've given them, which they'd have to in the wild, to crack open the nuts.
The capuchins at the park get nuts and seeds as a regular part of their diet. But today, they're being encouraged to develop a skill their clever wild counterparts are known for: finding and using tools to break open the food.
So this big rock that we've got down on the ground is essentially their anvil. So we're hoping that's what they'll use as a base to crack the nuts open. And we've got some smaller rocks of varying different sizes and shapes that they can use to bash the nuts open. So we might see a variation in which rock they decide to use. We're putting some of the nuts in and around this area as well, just, you know, to give them a bit of a hint, this is what they're supposed to do. But we'll spread the nuts around as well, so then it'll be interesting to see if they actually bring those back to the anvil or if they just decide to use something else in the enclosure. Here you go, Jack!
Chuck is the newest member of the group and is let out first.
Goodies! Hello.
She's still unsure of her ranking and sometimes hangs back when there's high-value food involved. To give her the opportunity to share in the bounty, she's given some time alone before the others join her. And today, she's trying to make the most of it.
Yes, Chuck is tapping away. She has, though, chosen the hardest nut just on a wooden pole, so I think she could be tapping for a little while, but she'll persevere, she'll get there in the end. She seems happy with her find, so I think she'll get there.
While Chuck shells her walnut, the rest of the troop are let out to see if they can crack the puzzle. The sound of tapping and happy cooing fills the enclosure.
Oh, good girl, Ginger.
The walnuts seem to be a popular choice, and the group discover, with a bit of work, the hazelnuts can be prized apart using their teeth.
Everyone's gone straight to the nuts. There's lots of tapping everywhere, which is really good. They're obviously very interested. There's lots of happy noises, so that's always really great.
Most of the troop are using the platforms to bash the nuts. Not quite the technique Donna was hoping for. But clever Gismo is the star of the day. He's using the large anvil stone to try and smash open a hazelnut. Good effort, but he needs to work on his technique. Gismo's overcome his pet trade background, when he was kept in a filthy shed in a back garden, to lead his own small troop.
Some of his behaviours are a little bit different to the rest of the other capuchins, and a lot of that has come from when he was kept in the pet trade. But he does really well, and when we give him something that he absolutely loves, onions is one of his favourite things, but nuts he absolutely loves as well. So although sometimes he can be a little bit quiet, he'll take himself off from the group, I think this he'll absolutely love, and I think he'll be central in amongst all the girls.
And they're loving it too. In fact, you could say Gismo and his girls have gone nuts over today's task. Next time on Monkey Life. Alison looks forward to the prospect of a new species at the park, baboons.
I just think they're great. Jeremy will love them to bits. They're Hamadryas baboons. They're absolutely fantastic.
And a sunny treat delights Chippy's woolly monkey troop. Today on Monkey Life, Alison looks forward to the prospect of a new species at the park, baboons.
I just think they're great. Jeremy will love them to bits. They're Hamadryas baboons. They're absolutely fantastic.
Recently arrived pet trade marmoset Clyde confounds Steph when he braves the great outdoors for the first time.
Are you brave boy? Going out even without Jen. Where did you go?
And a sunny treat delights Chippy's woolly monkey troop. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
You just never know how it's going to work.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 25 different species. It's been quite a year for the orangutan nursery group. An established male member of the group left for pastures new, and a fun-loving female arrived to join the gang. There's also been a house move for one of the park's youngsters. Hujan made the short journey from Tuan's adult group to become part of the nursery and get to know orangutans closer to his age.
He's actually doing really, really well. I mean, he's playing with everyone. It's really keeping the nursery in a really good frame of mood. Oshin has taken an absolutely massive liking to him as well. So yeah, he's doing really, really well.
Hujan's integration was also helped along by an early friendship with Kyan, who's just a couple of weeks younger. She arrived from Twycross Zoo after being rejected by the other orangutans there when her mother died. Kyan is loving life in the nursery group and has also struck up a close bond with Rika.
Kyan is doing very well for herself. I mean, she came to us, she'd been through an awful ordeal of losing her mother at quite a detrimental age as well. Massive ordeal, big emotions for her. So when she first came here, we expected her, to be honest, to be a little bit sad, maybe a little bit quiet, but it was the complete opposite. She is completely cheeky little thing. She was causing all sorts of mischief. However, everyone pretty much seemed to love her in here. And she's doing very, very well for herself considering her age.
Play for these youngsters is a vital part of building bonds and learning life skills, including socialising with others as they reach maturity.
All of our guys in the nursery are generally orphans, so they haven't had that attachment to their mother and aren't able to learn all the things that they need to learn off their mother, which is an awful lot of things in a wild scenario, but also lots of things in captive world as well. Particularly with the socialisation side of things, they are a solitary animal at the end of the day, so they're not really made to have social times. But when they're younger, they do have a playful character. They like a lot of play, so it teaches them how to kind of behave in a group scenario as well.
It's an important part of growing up for these orphans, especially if they ever have babies of their own.
Some of our last lot have gone through and gone off to other zoos and have had babies and are looking at them themselves, which is just fantastic news. It shows that this whole process does work. So the more orangutans like kind of in this scenario, really, the more they've got to learn, the more they'll educate themselves and the better off they'll be for the future.
The team's hard work equipping their charges with the right skills has paid off in recent years, with a number of nursery residents graduating and starting their own families at other centres around Europe. Xiao Ning now has 2 children to care for at Rostock Zoo in Germany. Kai and Jolie have welcomed their own infant, Membelai, in Spain. And more recently, Sylvester left to head up his own group in Basel Zoo in Switzerland. He's now settled in, finally joining his new small troop in their outdoor enclosure.
We're very, very happy. Me personally, I'm ecstatic, to be honest, to hear the news that Sylvester's finally gone outside and he's getting to actually enjoy that absolutely enormous, amazing enclosure that they've got out there. So pleased to hear that Sylvester's getting on very well in Basel Zoo. It's really great.
It's not just the animals that need looking after at the park. Their living quarters and outdoor enclosures do too. The park is situated on a 65-hectare site, which needs constant attention, updating, and sometimes a little bit of a revamp. Today, the primate care team are in the process of renovating the squirrel monkey's wonderful natural enclosure.
Right, so we need to come down.
Take some off the bottom there, because
yeah.
you might fall.
Yeah.
Everything that's been in here for a year, 2 years, it's all rotten now. So it's just time for refurb, get it all branched out, and fill in the gaps that we can hopefully utilise. We've got a narrow enclosure, so we've got to be careful with height, but that doesn't stop us creating a network of branches lower down so that the primates can utilise this enclosure far greater than what they have been.
The team are redesigning and future-proofing the area with 2 other species in mind. The squirrel monkeys share the house with their neighbours, marmoset Loki and Chloe and Desmond, the Saki monkeys. The elderly couple are not as agile as the squirrel monkeys, so careful thought has to go into the outdoor layout. The new design means the 3 separate outside spaces will be suitable for all the residents of the house, should a swap around ever be necessary.
Do you want to cable tie it to it? It's not a point of just putting 1 or 2 branches in to link up an area. We have to create a network so that it makes life easier for our older guys that potentially will come in here.
It's taken a couple of days, but the renovated enclosure is ready. The group of 3 common squirrel monkeys are giving it a test run. Logan, Lopez and Lucille form one of the 2 small troops currently at the park. The other is made up of Nueve and Kimbo, the latest arrival, who's still adjusting to his new life. The team are hoping all 5 will eventually come together as one settled group. The trio of common squirrel monkeys are let out and are immediately curious about the revamped enclosure, although a little cautious at first. Lopez scent marks the branches to claim the new structure as theirs. Some of the branching is a lot higher than before, and a good test of their agility and confidence. The primate care staff haven't put out any food for the moment. They're watching the squirrel monkeys' progress to make sure there are no problem areas for them in the enclosure. They'll use food to entice the monkeys back inside should they need to.
So changing up the environment's really important because it gets the primates thinking about life a bit more. If you've got exactly the same surroundings all day, day in, day out, you can get quite bored. So changing the environment is great for them. It keeps them engaged. It also can, the way that we branch the enclosure can give them better access to other parts of the enclosure that perhaps they didn't have as good access to before. It just keeps things much more interesting for them.
The enclosure has always been full of natural planting, and the new perching gives the squirrel monkeys plenty of opportunity to hunt for insects in areas they might not have reached previously. It looks like the trio are loving their new-look enclosure. The team will monitor them closely and tweak the layout if necessary as they gain confidence and become more adventurous. But so far, the renovation has been a success. The barn woolies are in for a bright and colourful treat today. The park has been given some freshly harvested sunflowers from a local farm, and primate care staff member Sharon is busy putting them all around the enclosure. It's something a little different for Chippy's troop of 7.
It's really important to try and just give them a variety. I mean, they do get this sort of bog standard sort of diet of fresh fruit and vegetables throughout the day, but if we can add in something like this that it is completely seasonal, then it's just a really nice treat for them. So when they come out and see all these bright flowers, I think they're going to be very intrigued, hoping that it's going to be a delicious treat, and then they're just going to hopefully just be busy all day, you know, just kind of tucking into them and just seeing what they're all about.
Some of the sunflowers still have their beautiful bright petals, and others are wilted and laden with seeds. But the woolly monkeys will have to work hard to get to them.
It's certainly going to be nice and challenging, and I think that's the aim of the day, really, is just trying to make sure that we keep these guys busy and both mentally and physically stimulated. So we've tied them up in all different locations around the enclosure so that they have to really work as well if they want to kind of explore what each sort of flower has to offer.
The group are let out. 1 or 2 are in more of a rush than others. There's a lot of happy trilling as they examine the brightly coloured flowers scattered throughout the enclosure. Catalina and Dad Chippy are first to check things out. Initially, they seem more interested in the stalks than the seed heads. At 3 years old, Catalina is still young and inexperienced, but she's very confident and now has a playmate, her half-sister Zena. They share the same mum, Eva. Zena is only 11 months old and still sticking close to mum, watching and learning all the time. Her father is Xavi, the other adult male in the group. He's using all his strength and agility and his long prehensile tail as he tears apart one of the stalks. At 33, Quapper is the oldest female in the group. She's taken a liking to the sunflower leaves, ripping them off and tucking in, despite appearing precariously balanced on the edge of a platform. It's a demonstration of her core strength. The other female is Paquita. She's had a difficult time this year. She needed an emergency hysterectomy following a prolapsed womb, but she's recovered remarkably well.
She's bounced back from that and now is in top shape, and she's just a really sort of strong-headed, sort of great female, and she's strong friends with Quapper still, so those two are sort of really quite a formidable pair.
It's taken a little while, but Paquita has discovered the secret of the sunflowers and is gorging herself on the seeds. Now the others have seen how it's done, all the woolies are busily attacking the seed heads.
Took quite a lot of investigation, and the slightly brighter characters like Ava really kind of going, I know that there's something, you know, tasty in here somewhere, so a bit of perseverance from those individuals, and once they figured out what it was, then they all really got stuck in, and complete success.
And with so many protein-packed seed heads around the enclosure, the woolies will keep busy and active for the rest of the day. It's been more than a week since Alison travelled to Fareham in Hampshire to collect male marmoset Clyde, as a prospective partner for Jenny, a female of similar age. In the last few days, the primate care staff have been busy introducing the pair within the confines of their indoor house. And the plan seems to be working.
So Jenny and Clyde are looking really good now. Initially, Clyde was a bit overexcited. I think it was a bit too full on. But then the last day or so, they've been really, really nice together. They spent the full day together yesterday. We saw lots of really nice grooming. Clyde was doing a lot of inspecting Jenny's fur and going through it and doing some really, really nice grooming behaviour. So yeah, everything's looking pretty good. So it's time for the next big test and let them outside and let Clyde experience the great outdoors.
This will be a big moment for Clyde. At his previous home, he had a cage and was let out in the sitting room, but has never had an outdoor area before. The large outdoor enclosure will be a very new experience. He'll have to navigate his way around the platforms and branches, and he'll be able to hunt and forage for live insects amongst the natural foliage.
So the outdoors is going to be quite intimidating, I think. As far as we're aware, that Clyde was only ever in a living room, so he's never really spent much time outside. So it can be quite scary. You know, you've got all this light, all these noises, all these other primates around. You've got the visitors walking around. So we wanted to wait until he was hopefully with Jenny before we let him out, because having that other marmoset with him will hopefully do a lot to calm his nerves. And I would expect to see him beetling around after Jen and not letting her too far out of his sight, because it will be a little overwhelming. Right then, guys.
Before Clyde reaches the outdoor enclosure, he has to negotiate a long tunnel system.
I can understand he'd be a bit nervous when he first comes out, because he doesn't know where this tunnel's going to. Hello. Oh, hi, Clyde.
It seems Clyde is more adventurous and confident than Steph thought. He's first out, heading quickly along the overhead tunnel.
Are you brave boy? Going out even without Jen. Where did you go?
Jenny follows behind, a reassuring presence if needed. But Clyde's already made it to the enclosure entrance. He pauses for a minute to take it all in.
Oh, good work, little man.
Seconds later, he launches himself into the enclosure, and for the first time in his life, Clyde begins to explore the great outdoors. Lack of experience doesn't hold him back. He moves around the branching with ease, comfortable amongst the surrounding foliage.
Brave boy.
New mate Jenny isn't far behind. She's made excellent progress after recent dental surgery. She demonstrates how well she's recovered, hunting for small insects around the enclosure. Clyde has made himself at home. Moving around the outdoor space will help strengthen his muscles, and the accompanying sunshine will provide vital vitamin D, necessary for strong bones. And completing his new life is Jenny, offering the companionship he so desperately needed. The small monkey team have also been kept busy with another of their charges. Brass, an unusual pet trade hybrid whose origins are a mystery, recently had treatment for a nail infection. Quite a few of his nails needed removing, and test results have come back confirming a fungal infection. The team are continuing with treatment, but it's going to be a slow process.
We've seen a minor improvement, but yeah, we haven't seen any major differences. It's been a few weeks. We expect it's probably going to take a few months, but they're looking a lot better. He seems to be walking around a lot better on them, because we know after the vet day he was a little bit sore, so we treated him with Calpol. Hopefully soon we'll start to see some nails growing back.
In the meantime, Brass appears happy and comfortable, moving around the branching with ease. He also has the benefit of close companion Evie, who's never far from his side.
These two are a really weird hybridized mix, one that we don't know the answer to. I don't think we'll ever know the answer to. But the pair together, strong bonded, always have been since day one. Chill together, not much arguments at all. They're a steady, happy couple, yeah.
The primate care team will carry on with the treatment, and hopefully Brass will continue his slow but steady recovery over the next few months. As another year at the park nears its end, there's been some exciting news for all the team. The number of different species may soon be increasing, with the arrival of 6 baboons.
I just think they're great. Jeremy will love them to bits, because as he always says, he loves oldie, worldy, roughy, tufty monkeys, and you don't get more roughy, tufty than a hamadryas baboon. So yeah, I'd like to try and help out with the baboons, and we can do that, try and get that done sooner rather than later.
The baboons, 3 males and 3 females, are currently being looked after by Animals Lebanon, a charity based in Beirut, which campaigns to improve animal welfare and legislation. It's run by Jason Meyer and his partner Maggie. All 6 baboons originally came from a small zoo in Lebanon and have been looked after by the organisation in the hills above the city since 2017.
He's always asked if Monkey World could take these baboons, and we just haven't had a place to put them. But now we're at a point where it's possible now. Our stump-tail macaques have over the years dwindled in number. They were elderly, and we only have 3 remaining now. So really that whole enclosure that was designed for a large group of stumpies could be quite a nice home for 6 baboons. They're absolutely fantastic. And again, I'd love to be able to help out Jason and Maggie in Animals Lebanon.
Today, Alison is having a video call catch-up with Jason.
Hi, Alison.
Hey, good morning, Jason. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a long time.
The baboon's current home was always meant to be temporary. But the COVID pandemic and other local circumstances delayed finding a solution. The climate in the area has also made the situation challenging.
Strangely, the last couple winters were very cold there, and it's never happened before. So there's actually 1/2 meter of snow. And so they're fine, I do it up, but it takes so much effort to get that place insulated, and there's really no way to heat it. It's just not an ideal setup, and I would hate to have to rebuild around them, where instead, if it was just an empty space and I had some time and a little bit more money, I could do something much more nice and permanent.
Mm-hmm.
Alison's keen to get some background information on the 6 primates.
They've not had any particular health issues or problems at all?
That's it. Rambo with his teeth, and he's missing a tiny bit of one finger. And other than that, nothing.
But before anything can happen, the move needs to be agreed between the UK and Lebanese authorities, followed by health checks to obtain the necessary paperwork. It could take months of planning before the scheme to move the troop of baboons to Dorset becomes a reality.
You guys look after yourselves, and look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Monkey World and Animals Lebanon have collaborated before, when they rescued chimpanzee Kiki, and more recently, guenons Benny and Nia, and Nora the loris.
They're just some of the kindest people wanting to make a difference for both wildlife and domestic animals in and out of Lebanon. So it's the right time, I think, for both Animals Lebanon and for Monkey World to be able to consider whether we can help them out.
The prospect of a small troop of baboons being rehomed at the park demonstrates the constant evolution of the team's work to do their utmost to help primates in need around the globe. It's already been a busy year, with the arrival of Argentine chimps, Sasha and Kangoo.
Yeah, on then, everyone. Everyone be nice.
Both now settled into individual groups.
Good girl!
And the rehoming of lone squirrel monkey Kimbo, who's still learning how to behave like a monkey. Work to rescue and rehabilitate pet trade marmosets continues.
He needs sorting out. Here you go.
As do efforts to maintain and improve the environment and houses enjoyed by the park's residents, which now includes the need for a baboon-proof enclosure. Who knows what challenges next year might bring?